Texting. Merry Christmas, America! You won't believe where I am. You're not going to believe it. We are in the heart of South Boston here on December 24th. Merry Christmas to all. Okay, this is my brother-in-law, John McCosh, back for his normal holiday cheer. I don't think it's going to be cheery today.
No. Patriots Nation.
Patriot Nation, though. We are here. The Patriots are on tap tonight at 8:15. They didn't move this game.
I know.
Didn't move this one.
They did not.
Because you know what? Let's not screw up a Monday night. You know what? Let's screw up Christmas instead. I mean, if you're going to screw something up, why not go all the way, America? Anyway, the highly questionable RJ Miliaccio. Sitting in for the Redoubtable Tom Izzo again is John McCosh. He's been a multiple guest announcer, or I should say host with us. He's been here in the summer. We will do his time again in the Cape in the summer. We will talk Celtics. We'll talk Red Sox, of course. And the Patriots will have drafted, hopefully found a new coach and a GM. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But this segment, again, we are going to be two parts. One, from the heart of Patriot Nation. I wanted John's input tonight because I've been hounding him for a couple of weeks about John. I need venom. I know it's Christmas. It's hard to get mad on Christmas. Okay, but the Pats are playing tonight, and it's about to get worse. If you saw the inactive list tonight, Hunter Henry is out. There's no Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, honestly. What? And by the way, do you want him to win? What? I mean, right now we're talking about a draft pick. But he's been here for the past 4 months. He gave a prediction in the summertime. I don't think he had him making the playoffs. So he was. What'd you have him doing? Do you remember what the prediction was? No, he had him missing. It was like 8, 9, 9. He had him missing, so he wasn't that far off. But not this time, sweetheart. Of course, my daughter's behind the camera trying to offer us sweets. Okay, by the way, this segment brought to you by, hey, Tom, we didn't forget you. And he's his first drink, the Dr. Pepper, the doctor in the hizzy, here on Christmas. But I wanted John's input. John has been in for the past 4 months. So John has been watching this from close. Did you even get to a game this year? Did you get to one?
We did not get to a game this year.
You mean you didn't want to go to a game this year?
Yeah.
Because normally when he wants to get to one, they get to one. Kristen pulls that VIP card and they get there. But they didn't even bother. And that is telling.
I actually recently had my season ticket letter come through.
Did you?
And I didn't pull the trigger. I know.
You heard it here first, America.
Well, I've been on the list for so long, and now, you're getting old. Am I going to go to every game? No.
So, is there a reason to go?
Yeah, no.
But you've been here for the past 4 months. Now, tell me what have you been feeling? This has been building up.
Well, first, let me just give you, lay down some street cred, right?
Sure.
I was a Patriots fan from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting there watching it on the couch with my dad and his friends, and they all laughed because I was so young. I called them the New England pastries.
Pastries.
But I didn't mean it as an insult at the time. But
cream puffs?
But somehow that comes to mind today. But
it does.
I just loved the Patriots from the beginning. It was my number one sport. I loved our French quarterback, Steve Grogan.
I love Steve Grogan.
Steve Grogan.
Big Steve Grogan. One of my favorites.
I actually did a charity walk with Steve. Easter Seals. We walked a couple miles around this lake or something.
Tough.
He was awesome.
Guy.
He was awesome. Yeah. I loved him so much.
Yeah.
And
I played in the men's league against him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he came up. I told you a story. He came up to meet me after the game because I had a dunk on a guy, and he remembered me from Zavarian days and he said, "You the guy who broke his neck?" And my two brothers, their jaw dropped, going, "This is the guy." He came up to you, so that was pretty awesome. One of my favorites.
Yeah, he's dynamite.
Dynamite.
And back in 1985, my dad asked me if I wanted to go to the Super Bowl at the Superdome, and I didn't even know that he wasn't kidding. And I just kind of assumed he was kidding, the way he just said it, it would have been such a big deal. So I didn't know it was really on the table. And then we watched the Super Bowl together, and of course I lost to the Bears. But afterwards, we were talking about it, and my dad's like, "No, I was serious. I really would have gone." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's the biggest regret of my life." That's how much of a Patriots fan I am. Even though they lost to the Bears, I still wish I had gone with my dad. But we did go. We did go to Mardi Gras together a few months later, and that was even better than watching the Patriots lose.
Mardi Gras was better.
But anyway, so the bottom line is, I've been following the Patriots forever. Loved the Drew Bledsoe signing.
Yes.
And this is I can sum it all up today. This was going to be I was going to close with this venom, but I'm just going to let you know right now. I was at MGM with my wife, and we were sitting there with all the great TVs, the sports area, having a drink at the close after we had done all of our winnings for the day. It was awesome. We're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, who am I going to put a bet on for the Super Bowl? The windows are right in front of me. And you think naturally, of course, the Patriots. I bet on Detroit. Because now this
say
is
that again. Who did you bet on?
And this is before the Patriots were out of the playoffs.
Who did you bet on?
Detroit.
Detroit, who has one playoff win in the last 52 years.
Yep. And I did it partly as a value proposition because I don't want to see any of the teams catch up to us for Super Bowl. So I don't want to see
San Fran.
Yeah, I don't want to see San Francisco win again.
They're knocking on the door. Yeah.
And so that was the reason, partly because I couldn't root for someone that was going to catch up to the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's how much of a Patriots fan I am. I'm rooting against other teams.
That's true.
And also Detroit was.
By the way, the Steelers fans were doing that with us forever.
Right.
When we were at 5, going, oh God, they're going to catch us. Trust me. And the Cowboys. That's why the Cowboys are at 5. It's true. It's very true.
And I was at Topgolf recently in Dedham, and now I don't know. I guess I can't say with certainty, but I was told that we went by Mac Jones' house and there's a for sale sign on it. So
they're still taking shots at Mac Jones.
I have no reason to believe that it's not true, but at the same time,
there's still people here that are dumb enough to think this is all Mac Jones' fault. Not him. He knows whose fault it is.
Mac Jones had a phenomenal first season.
He got destroyed by
He was better than Trevor Lawrence in his
He had the best
season.
rookie season of all these quarterbacks.
Right.
And suddenly he goes from a Pro Bowler.
I feel bad for Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones got screwed. And he was the sacrificial lamb. But it's coming home to roost now.
And it is. And you know what? This is something that I've also recently just thought of in a different way. If you think about how long does it take you to master something, they say, what is it, like 10,000 hours there?
At least.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, if you think of like a season of football, 16 games. So 16 hours. I know it's not comparable. You're not going to play 10,000 hours of regular season football.
It's 3 hours per game.
You'd be Methuselah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so the point is, one season is not that far into your career.
No.
Even if it's a year, it's not that many games.
No.
And you learn more in a game than in any other situation. Yeah. Mac Jones was already there, and you didn't develop him. You psychologically
Matt
blasted
Patricia
the guy.
And Joe Judge would have, and I said this before and I'll say it again, would have gotten any other GM in this league not named Bill Belichick fired. Any other GM in this league, had they pulled that with their second-year quarterback, those two guys, the guy who hired the GM, Belichick, would have been, if it wasn't Bill Belichick, would have been fired at the end of that season.
And he
would not have come back.
And I will say this: I mean, obviously we have the anti-Belichick, proposition here.
They're just facts, America. They're just facts.
And I will say this though: I mean, Bill Belichick did have the Patriot way. There was something to it. But, he had Tom Brady. And
something was Tom Brady.
I know. But he didn't adjust. When you don't have Tom Brady and you don't have any offensive weapons, you have the best defense in the league for 4 weeks running. No one can score on you, and you cannot.
You lose all 4 games.
You can't beat an opponent who's got 3 points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we have a lot of reason to be hopeful because we have a strong defense.
Yeah, we spent all the money on the defense,
right?
And it shows.
And they're
still competitive.
They are competitive.
Yeah, they are.
I wouldn't be overly shocked if the Patriots won the AFC. I mean, the AFC East next year. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I mean,
actually, it's not. And I said this in the last episode. How they lost 7 games this year by 1 score.
Right. Yeah.
They were that close. And my argument was, had Belichick just signed DeAndre Hopkins, who he had the money to get, and brought back Jacoby Myers, they have 13 touchdowns between them. We lost, let me say this slowly, we lost 7 games by less than 7 points. There's 13 touchdowns between those two, and the guys throwing them the ball, neither one of them were as good as Mac Jones.
Yeah.
If you put those two on this roster from day one, the Patriots are not sitting here at 3-11.
And also, Mac Jones,
not.
Maybe he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's still young, and he can develop and just. Tom Brady, for a while, no one thought he could throw the long ball.
And then Randy Moss showed up, and suddenly Tom Brady threw 60-yard bombs.
Exactly. So
if you don't have it, you can't throw it.
I would have been very happy with Mac Jones.
Mac Jones was never the problem. By the way, I'm glad you brought this up. Let me explain something to you idiots out there who think Mac Jones has a noodle arm. There is no way on earth a guy with a noodle arm gets a full scholarship to Alabama.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Nick Saban is the Bill Belichick of college football. He has his pick of the litter. He can have any quarterback he wants. Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, Mac Jones. There's another one out there. There's 4 Alabama quarterbacks starting in the NFL, or were starting in the NFL this year. Okay? He picks only the best. There's no way Mac Jones goes to Alabama if he has a noodle arm.
Yeah.
I don't care how intelligent he is. It doesn't matter. Okay, that he'll be the offensive coordinator. He'll call plays. He won't be out there slinging the ball around the yard.
Plus,
it's a load of crap.
Plus, he has this spirit and the drive to be a winner. He wants to win, and he's willing to put the work in.
I said this to Tom, and I'll say it again for the slow people up here because I think he gets it. And Patrick Mahomes is Exhibit A. Look at the year Patrick Mahomes happened. Why? He doesn't have the toys anymore. He's only as good as what you have around him. He has one Pro Bowler who's 34 years old and getting older by the day, and that's all he's got. And look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers. Tom Brady is the only quarterback in the history of this game that can win, take chicken shit, and turn it into chicken salad. And I can give you the names again if you're that stupid. But the bottom line is this, okay? Mac Jones is no different than any other quarterback in this league. And here's what I do know. When Mac Jones had a Ferrari, which was at Alabama, not only did he not crash it, he won a freaking national championship with it.
A national championship.
He went undefeated in the SEC, which is the NFL D League. He had 41 touchdowns and 4 picks, and he completed over 70% of his passes. Remember 3 years ago when we got him at 15 and everybody was like, oh, he fell into our lap. Oh, my God, what a steal. And then he makes the Pro Bowl, and they make the playoffs. And everybody's like, okay, we're going to be all right. We got that. And then Matt Patricia and Joe Judge shows up.
Right.
Doesn't get him a number one receiver, doesn't build the offensive line, and now Mac Jones can't throw it from here to there without pissing himself.
And that's another thing about Belichick, too. I mean, I feel like, all right, am I really qualified to, talk about an NFL coach? I'm not a coach.
Do you have two eyes at work?
But I will say this.
You have two eyes at work.
Why do you not name a coordinator? Why do you go a season without naming one? Name one. If they don't work out, you can fire them. I don't understand this whole thing about you're going to go through and then not actually name an offensive coordinator. That's just, what? Why?
Because there's no one to blame but him.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's called covering the asses of your friends. If he doesn't name Matt Patricia the official coordinator, then when the offense fails, you can't blame Matt Patricia because he doesn't have the title.
I think
that's why he did it.
I think it's because he wants people to really go through whatever you want to call it, basic training in the military or something, and then really work up to that title. They understand, okay, you're really the offensive coordinator, but we didn't name you, so
you have to earn the title.
Yeah, you got to keep working.
You got to earn the title.
But I mean, come on, no one else has to do that. If you're the offensive coordinator, give them the title, give them the responsibility, give them the feedback, give them the training. If they don't work out, they fire them. That's what everyone else does, and they do it for a reason. So I don't agree with Belichick doing that type of stuff.
Look, he duped an entire region into thinking that the system was him and not Tom Brady. He convinced the owner that Tom Brady was done. He pushed. I said it when it happened. This is the equivalent of the Red Sox trading Babe Ruth that everyone thought I was crazy. And all I did was Google Bill Belichick's record without Tom Brady. And it was a 6-year sample size, not small. And he was 44-51 with one playoff win. Well, 4 years later, he is now 83-100 with one playoff win. And Tom Brady, at the age of 43, has a 37, past his prime. Now, then Belichick said he was done. He goes 37-21, 5 playoff wins, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP because he was done.
That Tom Brady winning that Super Bowl with Tampa.
And they were 7-9 the year before. How bad is that? He took a team that didn't even make the playoffs the year before. And I love for you people who go, oh, well, they had the defense. The year before Brady took over, that Pats defense was loaded. They had Drew Bledsoe. They went 5-11. Belichick was the coach. They flip out Bledsoe and Brady. I'm a big fan of Bledsoe. But they flip out Bledsoe and Brady. They lose Terry Glenn, who was the number one receiver, 6 games of the season, and Brady still wins the Super Bowl.
Tom, Bledsoe built Foxborough.
We are at a. It's funny you said that. We are at a place now we really haven't been in 30 years, and this was 1992, right before we drafted Drew Bledsoe. We are at this place again. It took 30 years to get here because he screwed up Mac Jones. He shouldn't be here, but he destroyed Mac Jones, and now we're here again. Bill Belichick needs to go. He needs to go yesterday because we cannot. The Patriots right now sit with the number 2 pick in this draft. There are a slew of great players to get. Any one of them could help them. And they're probably going to lean towards quarterback, which I think is a mistake because it doesn't matter who the quarterback is if you don't fix the offensive line and you don't get him a number one receiver. That quarterback's going to fall victim to the same crap that Mac Jones fell victim to. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I could put Patrick Mahomes behind this team right now. He'd get crushed. He'd get killed. Lamar Jackson, crushed. Brock Purdy, crushed. I'll give you any quarterback in this league. I'll put them behind this line in this offense right now, and they won't survive. They won't survive.
I'll say this about Patrick Mahomes. I'll just openly admit I do not like the Kansas City Chiefs. So obviously I'm
Nobody
biased.
likes them. We're from New England.
Right. But I will say this. I remember when he had the 2 number 1 offensive
weapons
linemen.
in the game.
I'm talking about line.
Yeah.
So the number one guys in the entire game, and they went down, and he had to play a few games without them. And the announcer's saying, "Well, he's playing without his two linemen." It's like, oh, you mean so he doesn't have the two best in the entire league? He has to play with like offensive linemen that everyone else has to play with. I'm like, all right,
and he had all his weapons,
right? And he had
still
all
had
his weapons,
and he couldn't do anything.
Like, I'm sorry, but you have to be able to perform with an average lineman because most teams play with average linemen.
Not everybody has a Pro Bowl left tackle.
So,
there's only so many Pro Bowl left tackle spots.
And if you look where Tom Brady fired the ball from, he fired it back from the middle of the field. He didn't roll out. And Patrick Mahomes, he's not going to have the longevity of Tom Brady. I've heard some people posting some things about he's gonna be the GOAT. I'm like, there's no way Patrick Mahomes is ever going to be the GOAT.
He's not
no
catching
way.
Tom Brady.
He's not going to last.
He's not catching Tom Brady. Hey, I got news for you. He's not catching Tom Brady.
No way.
He's already frustrated beyond belief this year because he doesn't have a number one wideout. And look what's happening to them and him, by the way. He looks very pedestrian right now.
And I hate Travis Kelce.
Everybody hates Travis Kelce.
You know what? You know when I first started hating him? He did an interview.
Travis Kelce is making me hate Taylor Swift.
Mary Swiftman.
I was never the biggest Swift fan, but I respected her. I respected her talent. But he's making me hate her. It's just like
she's not.
He's making me hate her.
If she were dating Gronk, I'd be like, yes.
She can do better.
Mary Swift.
I think we both agree on this. Taylor Swift could do better.
No, absolutely.
I think she could.
Absolutely. I saw an interview with Travis Kelce. This is before he kind of broke wide open.
Yeah.
And they said they would mention that his nickname was Mini Gronk. And he took umbrage at that. He was not happy. I'm like, are you kidding? You should be so grateful.
Should be honored.
Exactly. You should be honored. I'm Mini Gronk. And you know what? If you
Gronkowski's
a few years later, if you wanted to.
Gronkowski literally lost 5 years off his career to injury. Look at his numbers.
I know.
He hasn't.
Gronk was the best.
Gronk was the best I've ever seen.
I love when he threw that guy out of the yard there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He also would block.
He said his favorite part about the game was blocking.
Tom Brady said he's the best blocking tight end ever, and he's right.
Yeah.
Because when the Patriots won their last Super Bowl, they were 5th in the league in rushing. Gronk retires, and the fullback who was a Pro Bowl, Devlin gets hurt. The running game drops from 5 to 16 in 1 year. That's a monumental drop. And everyone around here blamed Brady. Everyone thought Brady was done. It's Brady's fault. No, you lost the greatest tight end that ever lived, a Pro Bowl fullback. Oh, and you're missing. And the quarterback's not responsible for any of that. Bill Belichick, by the way, in that draft, drafted 2 tight ends. Nobody knows their names because they never made the roster. They never played a meaningful down. He still has not replaced Rob Gronkowski.
And that's why I want the Patriots to win. Because does the draft pick matter? Because if Belichick has a draft pick, what's he going to do with it?
Belichick's not going to be here.
So
Belichick's not going to be here. Okay, but to your point, though, let me ask you a question. Do you want Bill Belichick back?
No, I think it's time to move on. I will say, though, I did meet Robert Kraft. And he's like this tall, and he's got a giant granite blockhead. So if it's in there, it is giant blockhead that Belichick's not leaving. He's not leaving because no one can penetrate that giant head.
Well, you just said it yourself.
I actually like Robert Kraft. I'm not trying to make fun of him.
You said it yourself, though. You're a season ticket holder, and you didn't renew your tickets.
No, I'm not a season ticket holder.
But you had a chance to.
I applied to be one.
And now that you got the offer, you're not doing it.
Right.
And that's why that there is Exhibit A, why Bill Belichick will not be back. Because as I said to Tom a few weeks ago, the way to get to a billionaire is hit him in the wallet. There was a game 2 weeks ago. At 10 minutes before kickoff, they took a picture from the end zone. The stadium was half empty at the end of November. When was the last time a Pat Stadium was half empty at the end of November? About 30 years ago. Robert Kraft is losing money because of Bill Belichick, and that ain't going to fly. Which brings us to tonight.
And if you had Tom Brady, if it kept Tom Brady. If Kraft had come out and said, you know what? I think the fans are going to agree with me on this. We're going to let Tom Brady do whatever he wants. Because he's the one exception, though. Like I would have said, Tom Brady, you just do whatever you want.
He wasn't done. They were 12-4.
Yeah.
He had a 3-1 touchdown interception ratio. He threw for 4,000 yards, and N'Keal Harry was his number one wideout. How about this? America? Why not get Tom Brady a number one wideout, replace the tight end? It's not going to be another Gronk, but get a good one. Build the offensive line, and you're in the Super Bowl the following year. Because you know what happened the following year when Tom Brady left and went to a team like that? He won the fucking Super Bowl.
How about when he had Randy Moss? And Randy Moss was past his prime and just lit up the entire league. If Tom Brady ever had he
had Moss for a year and a half.
Right.
He won 4 Super Bowls without Gronk because Gronk didn't play in one Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl without Gronk against Atlanta.
I used to watch. I would watch the Patriots games, and sometimes you'd see Tom Brady be slightly off target a little bit, and I'm like, what the is wrong with Tom Brady? And then you go to a game after the Patriots, and you just watch like a really good quarterback do, missing off target, all game long.
throws.
And you're like, oh, it's because I'm used to looking at perfection.
Because Tom's human.
Tom Brady is he is the best sports person in any sport, any league of all time.
He is our generation's Bill Russell.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to have him. Thank you, Tom, again. Thank you, Tom.
Someone that you could really love, too, because he's a decent guy.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Alec Guerrero there when he was doing the whole brain
That was
thing.
all more Belichick's bullshit.
But I like his whole thing about like drink this and you'll heal your brain. I'm like, I don't know, that's questionable.
Does your brain need healing?
But Tom Brady is he's a stand-up guy. Just
He's
all
one
around.
of one. There'll never be another one like him. And people expecting Mac Jones to be that wasn't fair to him either. Now, let me ask you about tonight. We know no Hunter Henry, no Ramondre Stevenson. Obviously, Kendrick Bourne's done for season. It's basically just DeMario Douglas, Pop Douglas, and nobody else. And Bailey Zipperhead Zappi out in Mile High Stadium. And Denver needs the game.
I like Bailey Zappi, but he as a backup.
For who?
Well,
For who?
If you had a quarterback. I mean, I don't think... what I'm trying to say is I don't think Bailey Zappi could be the number one guy.
He's not a number one guy. I don't think he's number two. And it's true. Him being here... First of all, here's why he's not.
I like his attitude.
You watched the last two games.
I do like his confidence.
But you watched the last two games, right?
Yeah.
So you saw how good he looked in the first half, and you saw how incredibly bad he looked in the second
Yeah,
half.
but development, though.
But here's the thing.
I think he's got potential.
But here's the thing, though. If all it takes is a half for them to figure you out, you're not good. Because it shows you can't adjust. This season...
But he's still young, and he needs development.
So is Mac Jones. This same season, against two better opponents, Philadelphia and Buffalo, mind you, both are in the playoffs right now, Mac Jones in the second half of those games pistol whipped Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. Bailey Zappi has not done that to any quality quarterback. I don't want to hear about Mitch Trubisky. That's who he outplayed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He certainly did not play Patrick Mahomes last week. So don't tell me that he's better than Mac Jones. He is not.
No, I didn't say that.
Not.
I said as a backup.
Mac Jones is on the roster next year. He's still under contract. You have to pay him one more cent. But if you're going to go draft a quarterback, there are two names only. Jaden Smith, LSU, my favorite, Penix from Washington. Those are the two. Anybody else, I'm not sold on. Those two, I think, could be the guy. If you're going to go that route. I would prefer they draft Marvin Harrison Jr., who's a bigger version of Marvin Harrison Sr.
Can you imagine that?
Imagine him. And go spend that $100 million on an offensive line and another receiver, and then watch it get a real offensive... Actually, Bill O'Brien's not the problem. In fact, we found out in the past couple weeks that Bill Belichick was stepping in on those meetings and telling Bill O'Brien what he could and couldn't call. So take the gloves off Bill O'Brien. Let Bill O'Brien hire his staff. Promote Gerard Mayo or go get Mike Vrabel as the head coach, whatever. But then hire a GM who's going to spend the money on offense in an offensive league. Yep. Like every other GM in this league does, but the one who's on the hot seat right now.
I love how they say you can't win in the playoffs without a defense. Okay, well, maybe, really? But you can't win without an offense.
You can't without an offense. Hey, here's the thing, America. If you can't score, you don't win. It just doesn't matter. The Pats' defense is ranked 7th in the league. They're 3-11.
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence.
They're 3-11.
You know, they remind me of when they came out in the 2001 Super Bowl and they just did not announce any player. They just said, here are the New England Patriots. They were a team.
Refusing to come out as individuals.
Yep, and no naming. Like, how many players on the defense are marquee name recognition players? It's the whole unit, and I love that.
No, but they spent the money on that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, guess what? Hire a GM that's going to take that $110 million and go get your offense. And I still don't think you need to give up a Mac Jones, but you have to get him a line and get him a number receiver. And I said this 2 weeks ago. DeAndre Hopkins and Jacoby Myers, you look at their numbers. If they were here right now, this team is not 3-11. It's probably 11-3, 10-4.
You know what I love more than anything is seeing Sean McDermott lose to the Patriots.
That was fun.
He blows his top. It's so funny to watch.
Talk about overrated.
Overrated.
No.
He just feels so entitled. I'm like,
he acts like he's...
Yeah.
What has he done?
I will say, though, I do kind of admire Josh Allen. I don't want him to win, of course.
He's very talented.
He's talented.
And he's tough.
And he's old school football.
He's tough.
You know? And
he's tough to his own detriment, though.
Right.
Sometimes he needs to be smarter. Sometimes it pays to be. Patrick Mahomes has learned to be smarter and not tougher, so he doesn't take as many hits. Yeah. Josh Allen has to learn this, or his career is not going to last very long. Yeah. I don't care how big he is. You only take so many hits.
Exactly.
And it only takes one, to your point. Yeah. So I wish Josh Allen would get a little smarter, Because I know his career's going to.
I don't, because I don't want.
Well, he's in our division, so no, I don't. But I don't wish bad on any player. That's
I
not-
don't either.
And he's a good player. He
Yeah.
is. So
You do kind of feel bad for the Flubelo fans. Oh, I call Buffalo Flubelo, by the way. I don't know if you do
Flubelo,
that,
Flubelo.
but I mean, those fans, they are hungry for something to happen.
they're my
And they-
Bruins fans.
Right.
Very loyal,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
knowledgeable, and beyond patient.
Did you see
Beyond
Gronkowski
patient.
line up that table like he was
Yeah.
going to belly flop on the
Yeah,
table?
I did.
Gronk is from Buffalo.
He's from Buffalo.
Like that's the mentality, the knucklehead belly flop on a table,
Knucklehead Nation.
end your life type.
And
of
God
move.
love them because they're one of the good things about the NFL. That Buffalo fan base. I say it.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Pats fan. I say it. The respect is there.
Yep, I agree.
It is.
Cheers
It's
to
true.
that. Cheers to
It's
that.
true.
And it also helps that we just destroyed him for the last 30 years.
Well, Tom Brady.
Or 20 years.
Destroyed him.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, 33-3.
But,
You know who threw a party the day Tom Brady left New England? Buffalo.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of tables got smashed that night in Orchard Park when Tom Brady left. In any event, that's going to do it for segment 1. Give me a score tonight. Pats, Broncos, what do you got?
Oh, God. The Patriots are going to hold them to 10 points.
And
The Patriots are going to score 13 points.
you got the upset tonight.
Yeah, I have the upset. I don't know what happened to Russell Wilson, but he's just fallen off a cliff or
So you got the Pats in Denver.
in Denver. 13.
In Mile High.
Yeah. I don't.
You heard it. You heard the man.
I'm not putting. I'm not.
You heard the man.
I
All
have
right.
faith in Denver being able to lose in any game.
I picked Denver with Tom on Wednesday night because one team needs the game and one team needs the second pick in the draft. So I'm sticking with my pick, Denver. I do think it will be close because the Pats defense will keep it close.
Yeah.
I've got 21-13 Denver. Okay. So that's going to do it for segment 1. Segment 2, there's going to be a segment.
Well, let me just back up a little bit. Now, obviously, Denver needs it. The Patriots don't, but Bill Belichick needs it.
Oh, baby.
So I think he'll be pulling out all the stops and saying we're going to win this game. So yeah, I'm thinking 13-10 Patriots.
Okay, I got 21-13.
Put your money on it.
Broncos. All right, so we'll see that. Segment 2 coming back. We have a special guest tonight.
Ooh, yes, we do.
We do. Do you want to say his name?
Yes, he's my brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Chris Donahue.
Who is a diehard
Celtics fan.
fan
Oh, yeah.
who's a long time, short time, first time on the episode, fan of the Celtics. We're going to talk Boston Celtics basketball when we get back after the break.
We can walk to the garden from our house.
Yes.
And it's just
Yes.
beautiful. It's so
So we
fun.
are in Southie. Merry Christmas, brother. Thank you for having us over.
Yeah.
We're going to get on a cocktail and get the good Donahue over, the good doctor with the Donahue over here, segment 2. We will talk Boston Celtics. Hey, big game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The rivalry renewed, Boston, LA at 5 o'clock. We will talk Celtics, Lakers when we get back on the other side.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays from John. IDD, we'll see you segment 2 in just a minute.